We got a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour, Julia Shopik. She's been on the program before. She's a healthcare blogger. She's got a book called Honest Medicine, and she's got some really interesting strategies for dealing with pain and, for that matter, dealing with liver disease and dealing with cancer. We're going to talk to Julia Shopik about low-dose naltrexone, about the ketogenic diet, and also about alpha-lipoic acid. That'll be coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls here in our second segment, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, the longevity products, skincare, if you have a question about ingredients or something you don't understand about ingredients or formulations, we can help you. 844-236-6010. Of course, if you just want to contribute to the conversation, or if you have a success story to share, 844-236-6010 is our number. And if you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, or join the Brightside Ben team, please call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, or you can head over to my blog, pharmacistben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, or you can go to brightsideben.com and sign up right from the websites, or you can also purchase products right from the websites as well. And, of course, if you want to purchase any of our Truth Treatment skin health products, go to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, we'll get your calls here in our next segment. If you've got questions or comments or success story, 844-236-6010 is our number. Continuing on with the stress response, emotional and mental stress response, and its relationship to a lack of ease, which we also call dis-ease. I love that word, dis-ease. Everything we need to know about how to reverse dis-ease is in the word. Dis-ease. To reverse dis-ease, you got to get back to ease. It's right there in the word, you guys. Last we spoke, we were talking about the fear response, this idea of mind controlling the body, of the mind's impact on the body is so, so important. If we are going to free ourselves from a predatory medical model that pretends to be healthcare, that pretends to be about health, but more often than not drugs us up so bad and picks our pockets and hacks us up, and numbs us out, hides our symptoms so much that we don't even know what the heck's going on with our bodies. Francis Bacon, was the father of science. Francis Bacon, 500 years ago, said, medicine as a science is more professed than labored, meaning medicine as a science is more talked about than in actuality. Medicine's not a science. Medicine's about magic. When it comes to healing, when it comes to our health, there's two approaches you could take. One is the magical approach, using these magical substances, magical cures, going to magicians who will magically cure us. Doctors hate it when somebody says the word cure. Only doctors get to cure because they're the magicians. The other way of healing the body is scientific, using logic and troubleshooting. Your doctor practices magic. He makes pronouncements. He names conditions. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz couldn't give the Scarecrow a brain, but he could give him a diploma. He gave him a degree. Back where I come from, we can't give you a brain, but we can give you a degree. In the same way, medicine is magical. It's about naming things. It's about cures or pretend cures, which it accomplishes by hiding symptoms, by removing organs. I have a friend, she's going in to get her uterus ablated tomorrow. Yes, she called me up. She wanted to know how she could help heal from this ablation. She has endometriosis, right? Horrible, horrible, painful condition that women go through when their estrogen is off, when they're eating the wrong kinds of foods, when they're not processing fats, when they have a sugar problem. So instead of the doctor troubleshooting and working backwards to the blood sugar system, to the digestive system, to bile, and to the liver, these are all the places you want to work if you're dealing with female reproductive issues, he's going to destroy the uterus. He's going to call it an ablation. That's a destruction of the uterus. This is how medicine works. What we talk about today and every day on the bright side is about troubleshooting. It's engineering. It's how you work backwards if you have a computer problem or a television problem or a car problem. You work backwards. You troubleshoot. You look for the causes. Our symptoms are like the warning light on our car that goes off when our engine fails. The bright side philosophy, what you hear every day on this program, is about checking the engine. When the engine light goes on, medicine is about disconnecting the wires. Which makes more sense? If you have a chronic degenerative disease of any kind, that is a health issue that gets worse and not better. That's what a chronic degenerative disease is, and you want to address it scientifically. If you want to address it magically, go to your doctor, and he'll take out an organ, or he'll poison your body's ability to clear out bone. That's what Fosamax is. Or he'll poison the blood pressure system to lower the blood pressure system to lower the blood pressure. If you want to address it scientifically, you go to the triangle of disease. No matter what your health challenge is, you work on your digestive system, you stabilize the blood sugar system, you make sure you oxygenate the system, and then you address mental and emotional aspects. The mind is primal to the body. The mind controls the body. Eventually, the body's going to work backwards to the mind, but to start, the mind controls the body. So we have to understand how to work mentally and emotionally. We've been bamboozled into believing that we have to go to the doctor. It sounds silly. Oh, you're going to use mind control. You're going to use your emotions. How silly. If you're dealing with a CDD, a chronic degenerative disease, and you think this is silly, and you think this is too simple to be true, you're going to be depriving yourself of a very powerful healing strategy. Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain something to a 6-year-old, you didn't understand it yourself. And if your doctor can't explain to you the direct cause of your illness, or if he blames your genes or your bacteria and says you'll just have to be on this drug forever, or we're just going to have to ablate your uterus or ablate your heart, or we're going to have to take out an organ, then he doesn't understand how the body works. And that's the last person you want to be going to get health advice from. So to cut to the chase, CDD, chronic degenerative diseases, show up when the body is chronically assaulted by toxicity, mostly food and digestion related, in an environment of low blood oxygen, hypoxia, and micronutrient starvation, period. The mental and emotional component fit in because they represent toxicity. And they represent malnutrition because they suppress our ability to utilize nutrients. They suppress our ability to process food. Mental and emotional components, the mental and emotional component of disease fits in because it changes the way blood is perfused, blood is circulated around the body. And that leads to low blood oxygen. And this causes us to burn through nutrients. If you have weight gain issues, if you have insomnia issues, if you have skin issues, if you have any health issues that are not improving, people, please understand we have control. Healthcare is our business. Healthcare is not medicine. Medicine cannot help us with health. Medicine can only hide our symptoms, so we look healthy. It can only doctor us. If we don't recognize the importance of all the basic ways we are complicit in our diseases, we lose our power. When it comes to the fear response and its relationship to disease, this is the mind-body link. It's called psychosomatic. Psycho meaning mind, somatic meaning body. On this program, as well as other health and nutrition shows, sometimes we forget this very important relationship between psycho and soma, between mind and body. I'm guilty of it too sometimes. Certainly other nutrition and alternative programs are guilty of it, and your doctor is way guilty of it. Sure, deficiencies are important. Nutritional deficiencies are definitely important, but we gotta exploit and leverage.
I am a 47-year-old female and had a heart attack in 2005. This is Alice from New Jersey. I still get angina, even with 4 stents. I was taking nitro 2 or 3 times a week. The very first day after taking Heart and Body Extract, the chest pain was gone. Now I don't wear a nitro patch.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levin, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today, 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218-HELP.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
Atmospheric aluminum, mercury exposure, estrogen toxins from plastics, microwaves from cell phones and smart meters, and low-quality foods all combine to create conditions for the very high incidence of disease in our society. Now more than ever, we all need to be consuming those foods and herbs that epigenetically signal the cells of our body to produce energy, create proteins, and detoxify. When we properly support our bodies, then even in these toxic times, we can promote and achieve excellent health. One World Whey is the first energetically encoded whey protein food derived from Amish pastured cows on the U.S. market. After 3.5 years, we've heard miracles occur for so many people. One World Whey has a track record of promoting detoxification, improvement in elimination, and improvements in energy, skin quality, and elimination of inflammation. One World Whey is formulated to mirror the macronutrient ratios found in mother's milk. Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Just recently, we've witnessed some of the most catastrophic disasters in history. Be sure to prepare yourself with great-tasting, high-quality, GMO-free food that has a 25-year shelf life. Of course, we're talking about the foods from SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. And don't forget, the human body needs up to 3 quarts of water every day to remain healthy and hydrated. So check out our water bricks at SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. Go to SurvivalFoodAlliance.com or call 877-223-1776.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years, and Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah.
Ah. When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor recommended Say Ah Sore Throat Exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with the medical grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAHHnow.com. SayAhNow.com, the new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
Attention, all men. Are you urinating more frequently? Do you wake up to urinate? Are you having a slower, weaker stream? Don't ignore the warning signs of your aging prostate. Get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Super Beta Prostate is guaranteed to support a more complete emptying of your bladder, a fuller, stronger stream, and less waking at night to urinate.
Super Beta Prostate is a product that I really like. I endorse it. I use it myself. I was very pleasantly surprised that Super Beta Prostate helped me fairly quickly.
Super Beta Prostate is formulated with a natural plant enzyme called beta-cytosterol. It's so powerful, you'd have to take 100 saw palmetto pills to get the same sterols as just one Super Beta Prostate tablet. Don't ignore the warning signs of your aging prostate. Call now to get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Call 1-800-853-1203. That's 1-800-853-1203. 800-853-1203.
My name's Clyde, age 59, and I reside in Florence, South Carolina. The doctors diagnosed me as having clogged arteries. It felt like I was carrying heavy concrete blocks around my feet and legs. I started taking Heart and Body Extract as directed. It is less than 3 weeks, and I'm like a young man again. It's unbelievable that an herbal formula can work so fast and so powerfully.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levin, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today, 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218-HELP.
All right, we're back. On the bright side, we will talk to Julia Shopik about her book, Honest Medicine. At the bottom of the hour, we'll talk about something called low-dose naltrexone for pain. We'll talk a little alpha-lipoic acid, one of my all-time favorite supplements. Great for the skin, by the way, alpha-lipoic acid. And then we'll also talk about the ketogenic diet. You know, people talk paleo all the time, but paleo is kind of a marketing word, marketing phrase, marketing term, Paleolithic diet. Nobody eats paleolithically unless they're ripping the leg off the antelope while it's still squirming and roasting the leg on the fire and eating it fresh. Don't mean to be gross, but that's what paleo is. Paleo isn't coconut flour, paleo macaroons. I'm not kidding you. I saw paleo macaroons the other day. Anyway, we'll talk to Julia Shopik at the bottom of the hour, and we'll get your phone calls here in just a minute. A couple more things I want to say. I don't mean to, belabor this point, but it's just so darn fundamental, this mind-body link. And we lose our power when we don't recognize it. We're taught to marginalize it. We're not taught to respect the power of our mind and the power of our thoughts and our feelings. Yet we know biochemically, every time we think a thought, our body changes via the activity of hormones. Hormones are the link between our mind and our body and our feeling. And there's our mind and our feelings and our body. And every time we think a thought or feel a feeling, we're either making a healing hormone or a disease hormone. It's pretty much as simple as that. Chronic degenerative disease only shows up when there is an excess of disease hormones, which are intimately connected to the thoughts we think, the feelings we feel, as well as the foods we eat. There's the three major control points, you guys, of our hormones and then our health. The three major control points of our hormones are our foods, our thoughts, and our feelings. You could throw in oxygenation in there as well. When I talk about the triangle of disease, the blood sugar, the digestive system, the blood sugar system, and the oxygenation system, or the adrenal thyroid system, you can call it, I'm really talking about hormones. Hormones are the link between our thoughts and feelings, our foods, our oxygen levels, and the way our body shows up. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about hormones and And let's see. Yeah, we'll just continue talking about hormone health tomorrow. I don't want to talk too much more about this whole mind-body link, but we will talk about some nutritional supplements that you can use to improve brain health, brain function, and that you can use to reduce the stress response. We'll do that tomorrow as we continue talking hormones and the skin on the bright side. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Bunny in Michigan from yesterday. What's up, Bunny?
I was talking to you yesterday about the joint disintegration that I'm having in my body, and you started to tell me supplements. We ran out of time.
Okay.
So I just need to know the path of the supplements.
I don't want to... Okay, go. I'll answer that question in a second, but I don't want to mislead you or anyone else into saying you just have a supplement problem. We're clear on that, right?
Right.
It's not just... Okay, good. As long as we're clear on that. I hate being the kind of nutritionist that just says take this vitamin or this mineral to take care of your illness. It doesn't work that way. That having been said, there's lots you can do nutritionally. Okay. Number one, for blood supply, magnesium is a very important vasodilator. It opens up blood vessels, and magnesium deficiencies are very common. Make sure you're using 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of magnesium a day. You can get that from the OsteoFX. You can also vegetables, green vegetables are your best sources, food sources of magnesium. Lots and lots of greens, always. Veggies in general, but greens especially. Vitamin C is the quintessential healing vitamin. You're going to get that in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, but you'd probably be wise to take extra. Don't take it too fast or too much all at once. You'll get crampy, and that's not good. So divide the doses on the vitamin C. Vitamin E is also
vitamin C. How much?
1,000 to 2,000. You can take as much as you want. You could stick it right in your veins if you want, but 1,000 to 2,000 up to 10,000 milligrams a day.
Okay.
Okay. Vitamin E, 400 international units a day. That's your very, very important healing vitamin, as is vitamin D. Make sure you're getting out in the sun to get your vitamin D. Also using essential fatty acids, very important for blood supply and also for healing. Vascular necrosis, which is, I believe, what you were talking about the other day or yesterday, is a blood condition. You're not getting vascular, meaning it's avascular, actually, meaning you're not getting blood to the bone or to the tissue, and it's dying. Oxygenation is the key to getting enough, to opening up the blood vessels, to delivering nutrients and delivering blood to the tissue. Breathe deep, slow, every day. It's medicine. Bunny, it's a medical, this is treatment, okay? Wow. It's not, isn't that interesting? Your breath is treatment. You know, this is how we're supposed to be healing ourselves. Sit on the couch and relax. That's medicine. A hot tub, that's medicine. Tell your insurance company that Pharmacist Ben says they should pay for a new hot tub in your backyard because it's medicine. Same with a hot shower. These are all medical ways to improve blood supply. Make sure you're on the Healthy Start Pack. Make sure you're using probiotics and digestive enzymes, both on an empty stomach and on a full stomach. Get on the ultimate enzyme, or with meals, I mean. Get on the ultimate enzymes with meals and on an empty stomach. In fact, you might want to go to Brightside Health Products and get the deluxe enzymes, systemic enzymes, Astrozyme. Enzymes are ridiculously important, and I know I've talked about them for years, but it's so, you guys, in the next 10 years, you're going to start to see enzymes as medicine, because they are medicine. And we'll get into, I got a bunch of calls here. So there's some good ideas for you, Bunny. God bless you. And if you have any inflammatory issues that are getting in through the digestive system, food elimination diet. Thank you, my dear. Okay, didn't mean to hang up on you there. Pat in Nevada, what's cooking?
Oh, good morning. Thank you for sharing your blessings with all of us.
Praise God. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I just learned I have a detached retina. I've had hypothyroid for over 50 years, and, of course, I'm overweight and have age spots. So I need help.
I love it. You only have one problem, okay? I call it MBFA disease. And everybody who's listening who's got a chronic degenerative health crisis, they only have one problem. I call it MBFA disease. You know what that stands for, Pat?
I have no idea.
It stands for my body is falling apart. My body is falling apart disease. That's the only disease. It doesn't matter where it shows up. A detached retina is a sign that there's inflammation. There are non-healing or anti-healing factors in that area of the body, but they can show up anywhere. Now, the thyroid is really the culprit. I call this the triangle of disease. You start off with digestive issues, and it starts off woefully early in the womb. It goes into blood sugar issues as we can't handle energy. As our digestive system breaks down or begins to deteriorate, our ability to get energy starts to become sluggish, and we get into blood sugar problems. From there, our adrenal glands kick in to try to stabilize the energy levels. The thyroid slows down, and we're off to the disease races. Your problem is the thyroid, Pat. That's your real problem. But it's not. There's something behind that, and that's the blood sugar and the digestion. Make sense, Pat?
Yes,
so you're,
it does.
Okay, so you're falling apart in multiple ways, but it all has 3 points that root or ground all of these disparate symptoms, all these different types of symptoms. Number 1, get to the bottom of your food condition. You're at this point, you said you're in your, how old are you, ma'am? 60s?
No, I'm in my 70s.
Oh, you're in your 70s. Okay, so at this point, you're way malnourished. Way malnourished. Get on the Healthy Start Pack right away, today. Stat. That's doctor talk for immediately. Stat on the Healthy Start Pack, okay? You'll start to notice differences almost within 24 to 48 hours. When the body is as broken down as it sounds yours is, you get quick results. That's one of the great gifts of the human body. The sicker we are and the more deficient we are, the faster we turn it around. The more deficient we are, the faster our body absorbs nutrients, and the faster we notice results. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Pat, there's so much more, but we got a guest at the bottom of the hour. Please call back tomorrow or send me an email, ben@ksco.com. Put your phone number there, and I'll get back to you personally. All right, we've got Julia Shopik coming up at the bottom of the hour. Don't go away. Tomorrow we'll continue talking hormones. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of really cool... Well, I'm talking about one supplement that you never hear anybody talking about, unfortunately, but you all know what I'm talking about because some of our favorite foods contain this stuff, and it's powerfully anti-stress. And we'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue talking hormone health and the stress response and chronic degenerative disease on the bright side. Okay, so I'm excited to talk to our next guest, who has become a friend of mine. For some reason, she likes what I do, and I like what she does. She's got a great book called Honest Medicine. It's all about inexpensive treatments that you can use for things like MS, multiple sclerosis, and epilepsy, especially liver disease, autoimmune disease especially. Please welcome to the bright side, Julia Shopik. Hey, Julia.
Hey, Ben, it's so good to be on your show again. You know, I keep track of you on Coast to Coast AM because you're on
honored
there
that you,
so much.
Julia, I am a fan of yours, and I can't tell you how honored I am that you're keeping track of me. That's super cool. But we're on the same page.
You're in Talkers Magazine, which I also follow you on.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, you and I have a lot in common. That's why we connect so well. You know, we are all about these inexpensive, basic ways that you can take care of health and wellness. And your book is chock full of information, by the way, Honest Medicine. And you can get that on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or anywhere pretty much. And so I want to talk about a couple of the ideas here in the book, a couple that I really like, as you know, because you and I have talked. First of all, on this program, we talk about the ketogenic diet a lot. You know, you hear the term paleo all the time, and I always say that the paleo thing is marketing, but keto is science, and it's been around for a long time. Paleo came out in the last 20 years, but we've known about the ketogenic diet since Hippocrates for epilepsy and for even for cancer, all kinds of seizure disorders, for inflammatory diseases, autoimmune diseases. Tell us a little bit about the ketogenic diet and how it relates to some of the health challenges that you've seen and that you write about.
You know, you're right. The ketogenic diet has been around, for time immemorial. And, but scientifically, it's been around, it's been used for pediatric epilepsy, you know, childhood epilepsy, since the 1920s at places like Johns Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic. And then, guess what happened? In
Drugs.
the 30s and 40s, anti-seizure medications were developed.
Barbiturates and Dilantin, that's when it all came out. That was the golden age of pharmacy.
Yep, the golden age of pharmacy. And the diet, Ben, which had really been helping children, you know, 67% of the time, it turns out scientifically, kind of fell out of favor.
Right.
And this was a shame because it is a high-fat, low-protein, low-carbohydrate diet. By the way, that's the difference between it and paleo, that it is low-protein. It's mainly high-fat.
It's the fat they focus on.
It came back in favor because of one man named Jim Abrams. And I don't know if most of your listeners probably will know the movie Airplane. It's kind of a classic. And it was written, directed, and produced by a man named Jim Abrams. And so he was a really funny man. And then in the 1990s, 1994...
Wait a minute, hang on, Julia. You're talking about the guy who did he was a takeoff on like on disaster movies? That one with Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah, with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, my God.
Me Shirley.
So he directed this movie?
He wrote it and directed and produced it, yes.
And he's a physician? Or he's a medical guy?
Nope. He was a Hollywood institution. And making his money off of, he also did Hot Shots, the movie, you know. So he was very, very famous in Hollywood. And then, you know, for doing funny movies. And then in 1994, something not so funny happened to this man. Yes, he's an amazing guy. And what happened was his little son, Charlie, an infant, 1 year old, began to develop intractable seizures. That means seizure ends, another one begins.
Oh, my God.
And you can die from intractable seizures.
Of course.
And he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, the doctors kept drugging this little baby.
Oh, my
gosh. There's a video on that I have a link to from my book, From Honest Medicine, which shows little Charlie, literally, he has a harness on his back. Because he's so drugged, he's like giving new meaning to bumping into walls.
What's the website, Julia?
Yeah.
What is the website?
The website is honestmedicine.com, but Jim Abrams' website is charliefoundation.org.
Okay. So any listeners want to check out the video.
Yeah. And but you can find, actually, if you want to, you can write to me at julia@honestmedicine.com, and I can send you a link to the video. Of little Charlie bumping into walls, literally. But Jim went to the library. He said, we can't take this anymore. And he went to the library to see what his family was going to do with a child. The doctors all said, nothing else to be done, just drugs, and maybe a surgery on your baby's brain. And Jim said, I got to find out how my family's going to deal with this. And so he went to the library, and what do you think he finds? But a diet that has been around, as I said, and as you pointed out.
Ketogenic diet.
Yeah. And he copies everything. He found studies from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, all the way through the 90s, which is when he went. And he brings them to his doctors, and the doctors say, don't do it. It won't work. And Jim said, this is kind of the point of my book, Ben, because Jim said, to my everlasting shame, I listened to the doctors, and I let them perform a surgery on my baby's brain. And right after the surgery, what do you think happened?
He's retarded or something. What happened?
No. Well, luckily, you know, not quite, but you're bringing up another good point that we can I'd like to address.
He was traumatized. His brain traumatized somehow. What happened?
Yeah, but he still has seizures.
And he still has seizures too.
Yeah. Not only was his brain traumatized, I mean, you can't operate on a little baby's brain. How
do you do that?
Right.
This is the craziness of the medical model. It's like we can't see the forest for the trees. We don't see what we're doing because we're so fixated on rearranging the structure of things. We don't understand the big picture. Yeah. So the ketogenic diet is a high-fat diet. What kind of fats are you talking about?
You know what? This is the thing that makes it controversial, that a lot of doctors, because the ketogenic diet, they use lots of butters and
saturated fats, right?
Yeah.
Saturated.
And also, but now you can also use any kind. You can use the coconut oil.
Coconut oil, right?
Yeah.
Coconut oil in particular, because the MCT content, the medium chain triglyceride content, is actually, I don't want to say better than butter, because butter's awesome too. Butter's got some great stuff in it for the brain and for the immune system, etc. Butter is amazing stuff, isn't it? That's why I like the title of your book and what you write about, is because there's these simple little things, right? It's like we make it so complicated.
We do, and you know something? This is the part that gets me, and I know it gets you too, Ben. When you have something like a child, little child, and doctors would almost prefer to give these children, in many cases, if one drug works, okay, I'm not for drugging these kids anyway, but you know what? If one drug works... And
Polypharmacy, many,
Yeah.
Isn't that awful to a baby? I've seen babies. I was guilty of it. I used to work in this place called Peds ICU at Denver, at University Hospital in Denver, pediatric ICU and neonatal ICU. Oh my God, the drugs they give, the neonatal. and the little children. All right, I want to talk about. I want to get to talk about low dose naltrexone when we come back. Okay, Julia?
Great.
All right, thanks. We're talking to Julia Shopik. Her book is Honest Medicine. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side, talking to Julia Shopik about her book, Honest Medicine. Give out the website one more time, Julia.
HonestMedicine.com. Everything about me is honest medicine. I should trademark that term.
Well, I'm surprised you even got the website, or you have the domain name. That's pretty cool.
You know
Honest
what?
Medicine.
I got it a long time ago.
And probably nobody's ever thought of those. It's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron. Do you know what I always say? Yeah.
That's what I'm always asked. But on my website, I call it My Dream for the Future.
Yeah.
And in the book, I really believe I have written about treatments that are honest medicine.
I agree. You know, the thing about medicine is it's inherently fraudulent. You know, if you go to court, Julia, and you say to the judge, here's the evidence, it's doctored. What does that mean? Right? What does that mean?
Yes.
It means you've committed a fraud, right?
Exactly.
To doctor something is to commit a fraud. We're committing a fraud. We're pretending we're healthy because we've lowered our blood pressure with our blood pressure drug, or we've lowered our cholesterol with our statin drug, or we're not in pain anymore because we took our uterus out. So we pretend we're healthy. That's called doctoring. That's what it means to doctor. You know, and so this idea of medicine is inherently dishonest. So it's kind of cute how you did honest medicine. But I noticed one's black and you have them in two colors in the book. They're opposite colors, as if they're opposing ideas. Anyway, I want to talk about low-dose naltrexone, and I do want to touch a little bit on
one thing about the ketogenic diet before we move on.
Yeah.
And that is that Jim Abrams, whom I mentioned, has been wonderful, and he has spread the word about the diet. And that's basically charliefoundation.org. He's made awesome. He hired a dietitian who has trained doctors around the world to administer this diet.
For seizures specifically, right?
Yeah. But for seizures, it's being used for many other things.
Exactly what I was going to say. For cancer, it'll help your chemotherapy work better. For just feeling better, really. This is how our body is primed to run. Our body runs best on this kind of diet. So the reason it works.
I just met with a friend last night who says that she's going to be using it just for feeling better. Exactly. All
right, so I want to talk about low-dose naltrexone, and I want to touch a little about ALA, alpha-lipoic acid, just because it's so interesting. But tell us real quickly about multiple sclerosis and pain issues and LDN, or low-dose naltrexone.
The story of how, I know we're limited with time, and the story about how it was invented is pure genius. And it's in my book. It's on Honest Medicine, how a drug that at 50 milligrams, 50, was FDA approved for drug addiction, was used by a doctor named Dr. Bernard Bahari at very, very low doses to treat conditions like, as you just mentioned, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, Crohn's disease, rheumatoid arthritis, essentially autoimmune diseases. What he found was that in very low doses, 3 milligrams, 4.5 milligrams, what this drug does, it's low-dose naltrexone. It raises endorphin levels, which, as you know, make you feel better. Yeah. And it also modulates or makes the immune system work better.
And it's interesting at low dose, though. The key is it's not dose dependent. We have this idea that you have more, the greater your dose. We have this idea the greater your dose, the greater your effects. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you get completely different effects.
As a matter of fact, it's the opposite.
Yeah, that's right.
What happened with Dr. Bahari was he was working with drug addicts. Remember I said it was FDA approved at 50 milligrams and higher for drug addiction?
For opiates.
Well, he was working with drug addicts, and he said, I'll try this. It was supposed to stop the craving. And he did. He tried it on his drug addicts, and he said, it did stop the craving for drugs. On the other hand, at high doses, it was so toxic that they were bent out of shape. They couldn't remember what they had done the day before.
That's right.
So he said, I noticed that it has a good effect, too, but can we get the good effect, the raising of endorphin levels, to still be with the drug as we lower the dose? And he found that he could get it very low dose, and that people the first one who came to him was a friend of his daughter's who had multiple sclerosis. And she, at this point, this was in the mid-'80s when low-dose naltrexone started being around. And she said, I wonder if this drug, low-dose naltrexone, would help me, because it's been, it apparently has good effects on the immune system. And he tried it. And indeed, her MS stopped progressing. And
now wait a minute. Hang on, though. The disease itself stopped progressing, or she felt better?
No.
Or both?
Both. I shouldn't say no. You're right. Yes, she felt better. But the disease stopped progressing. And this is what has been found with so many autoimmune diseases. People started coming to him.
Let me ask you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go on.
No, continue, because I want to. We were almost out of time, but I want to ask one more thing.
Okay. People started coming to him with lupus and with myasthenia gravis and all these, and it had a good effect, not on everybody. This is not snake oil.
Okay.
But it had an effect on so many, many people with so many, many autoimmune conditions, obviously affecting the immune system. And it's now a cause célèbre. Go on Facebook. I know you're on Facebook, Ben.
Well, here, let me ask you one thing that comes to mind when I hear this. Do you have to stay on the low-dose naltrexone? Does the condition revert when you're off of it?
You know what? Excellent question. The way I talk about it and the way Dr. Bahari would have, he died a few years ago, it's more like a supplement, and so you do have to take it forever, but think of it as a good thing to take. It's not like most drugs. You know how most drugs have side effects that are bad, including melanoma?
This one doesn't? There's no side effects? Okay, so here's what I would say. Use the low-dose naltrexone while you're figuring out why your immune system is so jacked up.
Exactly.
And usually you'll find it's digestion.
Right.
Yeah, no, so use it to stabilize. And, I rip on drugs more than anybody probably. But there are times when, for stabilization or for pain, there are times, I'm not Pollyannish about drugs. I hope nobody misunderstands my position here. What I object to is when this is how we're treated for the rest of our life. And we're led to believe that this is somehow curative. So anyway, we only have a couple minutes, but I want to talk about ALA because to me that's one of the most fascinating of all the nutritional supplements, alpha-lipoic acid, and you never hear about it really. Nobody really talks about it.
This is the one in my book is intravenous alpha-lipoic acid.
Yeah.
And it's been a fantastic
for the liver.
thing for liver disease.
Yeah.
And now for autoimmune diseases, and as you know, one of the wonderful stories in my book is about a pancreatic cancer patient who lived 9 years after diagnosis because of intravenous alpha-lipoic acid.
Now, you can't necessarily, not everybody has access to IV alpha-lipoic acid, but you can take it orally, and you can get some good benefits orally for a lot of different things. It's almost like a Swiss Army knife antioxidant, right? It's because it's got the fat side and the water side, so it's good for so many different things.
Yeah, it definitely
diabetes. Have you heard about it for diabetes, for blood sugar?
Oh, yes. And you know what? It's so fascinating that you mentioned this because the way Dr. Bert Berkson, who is the pioneer of intravenous alpha-lipoic acid, found out about it was that at the NIH, the National Institutes of Health, they were actually using the ALA. They were studying it for the effects of neuropathy in diabetes.
Yeah.
So that was its original use.
It's a go-to. I would consider it a go-to supplement for neuropathy and for diabetes. It's like one of the basics. And but here's what the problem with it is? From a manufacturing standpoint, it's a little bit tricky to make. It's very unstable, and so it's expensive. Alpha-lipoic acid, and that's the one downside to it.
Dr. Berkson brings up another point, and this I'm sure you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, Ben. Yeah. But according to Dr. Berkson, I believe there are some, and we're talking now about the pills, about the supplements that are oral, that some of them, especially from China, are not good.
No, they're unstable. They're oxidized. All antioxidants are going to oxidize, and so you have to take great care to prevent that from happening. And alpha-lipoic acid is, because it's so powerful, is also so unstable. Sometimes they're connected. The potency and the instability are related. And alpha-lipoic acid is very potent. But topically, it's got some really neat benefits, too. Do you know anything about top? Have you ever?
No, tell us.
Well, no, I'm talking to you. I didn't know if I want to talk to you.
The reason
they hear me talk all the time.
Orally, I know about it. I know about it as an infusion. but I'd love to hear about it.
Topically, it's very fascinating. But again, its instability is a problem. But we're out of time. So that's all for now, Julia.
How did
we'll
that
talk again soon. What's that?
I said, how did it happen that we're out of time so quickly?
That's just how it goes. You know, when you're having a good time, things go fast. Anyway, it's good to talk to you, Julia. We'll talk again soon, okay?
I had a great time. Thank you. Invite me back.
Absolutely, I will. Thank you. Julia Shopik, her book is Honest Medicine, honestmedicine.com. Thanks for listening. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about hormones and CDD, chronic degenerative disease, and how it works mentally and emotionally as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have an awesome, spectacular, beautiful day. We'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Did you know that the average cost for a family of 4 to attend a professional baseball game is over $200? At the same time, over 40% of all sports, concert, and theater tickets go unsold. So how come we're all paying so much when so many seats go empty? I'm Adam Canner, founder of ScoreBig.com. We found a way to work directly with teams and venues to get their unsold seats and pass the huge savings on to you. On ScoreBig.com, we guarantee you'll save on great sports, concert, and theater tickets. And we're not talking about last-minute nosebleed seats to events you don't want to see, but millions of great seats for the best events, days, weeks, even months in advance. On ScoreBig.com, when you successfully name a ticket price, on average, you'll save over 33% below box office price each time you buy, with no added fees or shipping charges ever. There are lots of places to buy tickets, but if you really want to save, then check out ScoreBig.com.
And now save even more at ScoreBig.com. Click on the radio mic and enter code 2424, and we'll take an additional $20 off your ticket purchase. That's ScoreBig.com, promo code 2424.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
The human body is more than 60% water. Your brain and muscles are 75% water. And your blood is 92% water. Water's vital to your body, and alkalizing your water is the key to keep it running at its best. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops keep your entire body healthy, boosts energy, promotes weight loss, and even fights cancer. Call 800-518-7615 or go to alkavision.com to find out more. That's ALKAvision.com.
Turn on the news and you'll hear stories of natural disasters, political unrest, and financial crisis. In times of uncertainty, how will you take care of your family's most basic needs? Food Insurance, America's most trusted provider of freeze-dried emergency food, has solutions that fit your family's needs and budget. Our meals are delicious, nutritious, and come with a guaranteed 25-year shelf life. For a limited time, we are sending a free freeze-dried meal to all listeners of this program. Go to foodinsurance.com and request your free meal today. That's foodinsurance.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.